you can hear me okay. Make sure the sound is good and that you can see my screen. And then I will go ahead and get this started. There's a couple things that I want to go over here real quick, and then I will be turning the time over to Ariane. But there are a couple things I want to go over. As you see on your screen here, we had an amazing weekend this weekend. Friday was awesome. We had Don Blanton in town, and we were able to hear his magic as he actually had a live couple up on the stage, and he went through and showed them how they could better their financial situation, and that was extremely powerful. And a lot of people I know enjoyed that and got a lot out of that. That was a lot of fun on Friday. So unfortunately, if you weren't there, you definitely missed a good one. And I've heard that they've recorded it, so hopefully we'll be able to get that recording out to everyone. But that was an amazing event Friday night, and a lot of people just had great feedback. And we had a couple fly in. Jim and Kirti that are on the line here, they flew in from Texas for the weekend, and everything. They were just super excited about everything that they heard. And then as you can see on your screen here, on Saturday, we had a millionaire mentor moment where we had a millionaire that was able to open up his home. As you can see the pictures there, he was able to open up his home and give us some very powerful insights and thoughts on what it took him to get to where he was at in life, and the journey that he has gone through and what he has learned over the years. And it was just a very powerful event. There were a lot of people very emotional afterwards, and it was truly one of those life-changing events where people really saw what we were doing with this company and the power of how we were going to be able to change lives. And so that was a very powerful event, and we will be doing things like this again in the future. We are working on an events page on our changelife.me website that will outline a lot of these events. We're going to be going over that later on today, and we'll have that all detailed out so that everyone knows exactly what events are coming up and give you plenty of heads up on when they are going to be happening. So lots of exciting things that happened this weekend. Real quick, before I turn over the time to Ariane, I just want to talk about a couple of things that I always enjoy, which are, of course, money and recruiting. And I think this is the perfect way to kind of tie the two together. And as you can see, I just pulled this up off Google Images, but as you can see here, this shows you what happens when you double a penny every day. And you've probably heard this as a kid. It's kind of the classic example of compound interest, and it's a way to teach people how money works. But one of the things I love about this is very simple. If you ask somebody if they would rather have a penny that doubled every day or $1 million, most people would take the $1 million. And as you can see with this simple example, it becomes far more than $1 million by day 30. It's actually 5.4 million. And it's the simple concept of compounding and doubling your efforts. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because not to focus so much on the financial side of it, but I put together, and this is not done, but this is something that I'm working on. But this, to me, is an example of the same thing, but through your compounding efforts. And this is something that applies the same as the concept of leverage. You know, the millionaire mentor on Saturday taught us that the one thing he learned early on in life was the difference between linear income, where you're exchanging time for dollars, and leveraged income, where you're leveraging other people's time and other people's efforts. And as you can see, of course, the power of network marketing in the world these days. But this is a simple example of breaking down the Tranat comp plan, and I'm going to create a video using this. But as you can see, this is a very simple way to break down the kind of money that you can make with Tranat by simply having 3 people on your team. Now, we all know that, you know, maybe somebody will fall off, you might have to replace them, or whatever the case may be, or maybe you have to talk to 10 to get to the 3. But the power is the same. If you see that just with a few people that have a few people who have a few people, it's amazing how these compounding efforts can happen. Now, what I also think is interesting with this is, you know, you might have a nice little group of people on your team, and you still might only be making $300 a month plus driving around a free Jeep. But as you can see on your screen here, when that starts to compound, And when you start to build this, and this starts to get bigger, you know, the mentor that we talked to on Saturday has been in this industry 26 years, and he has built 2 teams in his career, one of over 1 million people and one of over 3 million people. Now, it's hard for a lot of people to fathom, you know, having 1 million people on your team or even 3 million people on your team, but it was done over time, and it was done exactly like you see on your screen through the compounding of several people's efforts. And this comp plan has a couple of different aspects of it. Number one, the compounding, as you can see there. You might have 12 people on your team, and you get the $100 plus the Jeep. So, of course, the $100 will cover your membership that you're paying. So we always say, you know, you get your 3 for free, and then, of course, you have your Jeep. That's with the 12 people. That's literally with just you getting 3 people who got 3 people. And that's a very powerful starting point. There's nothing wrong with having a nice brand new car to drive around and $100 in your pocket, or at least having free access to a membership that teaches you the financial education, the personal development that you get through Tranont. But as you can see here, if every one of those 12 people got 3 people, now you're talking about just making, you know, $300 a month plus the Jeep. It might not get you super excited. It might not change your life. That might not allow you to become financially independent and quit your job. You know, but what's fascinating is you can see there is by the time you get, you know, 4 levels down from you, you're talking about a nice little $2,400 a month income. And that can be very significant to a lot of people. There are several people in this country that could live on that. And there are a lot of people that could replace their income, and they could become financially independent and build, you know, from there. And, of course, you know, 1 level down from that, the compounding really starts to take off, and you've got $5,800 a month. Now, doing financial services for the last 10 years and meeting with people about their finances, I can promise you right now about 90% of the people that I've met with over the years could live on about $5,800 a month because they currently are living off, you know, $5,800 a month or less. And so literally we're talking about potentially if everyone gets 3 people in their first month, you're literally looking at within just a handful of months here, this could be the reality for someone. And that is the power of what we are offering people. How would you like to offer somebody financial independence in just a few short months? To me, that just blows my mind, and I could go on and on and on about how comparing this with traditional retirement income, and there's a great article that was shared with me on the power of a network marketing company in your retirement years, and I will be sharing that. Marlon, I'll give him props for that, and I'll be sharing that on one of our calls and on our website and our Facebook page. But that was a powerful, you know, a powerful way to tie the 2 industries together, both the residual income that comes from this as well as the traditional retirement income. But that is powerful. And, of course, you know as well as anyone that it doesn't stop from there. And you literally just from one level, it could potentially be 1 month later, your income could go from $5,800 a month to over $14,000 a month, literally in just a matter of months. And to me, that is amazing when you look at the power of compounding efforts and the power of compound recruiting. And that, of course, is, you know, what we have to offer people. So with that, just a little thought for you, and I now want to turn the time over to Ariane.
Can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me now? Okay, awesome. I don't know what happened there, but Welcome and happy Monday to you, and welcome to February. I love a new month. It's a fresh start, and we are ready to rock and roll. Oh my gosh, those of you who had the opportunity to come this weekend, was your mind totally blown? I have to tell you, there is nothing that I love more than being around successful, like-minded people. And I have to tell you, I am so excited about what we're offering to people. I heard from those who came on Friday that their mind was absolutely blown by what they can do to invest their money. And you know what? That could start off with even $100 a month. Anyone can do that. It's a choice to invest, whether you're, not making the money you want to make, even if times are tight. You can still be smart with your investments. One of the books Lance and I talk about all the time, if you have not read it yet, you're going to get sick of us hearing us talk about it. You've got to read it. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's by T. Harv Eker. And one of the things that he talks about in here is that you need to learn, if you want to be wealthy and if you want to have income, you need to learn how to make money and to invest your money that you're making. And so often we hear of people not knowing where to put their money, not knowing how to grow their money, and we learned on Friday with the tools that we have and with the wealth specialists that we have, we know exactly how to be smart with our money. And I love the quote from Don Blanton, if everything you knew about your money was incorrect, was false, was not true, when would you want to know? And I saw myself even being able to take that Circle of Wealth program and going to every single household, every single person I know, to call them up and just say, hey, I just learned something that I feel that every single person in America, every household in America needs to know. And I want you to get this education and this information. What you choose to do with it from that point on is totally up to you. But I want you to come over and let me show you something for an hour. And if you hate it, then I'll never talk to you about it again. But I was blown away, and I wish I would have known this information 20 years ago. I'd be in a totally different financial situation if I did. And, of course, our millionaire mentor in Mark, he was just livid that he didn't know this information. He could have kept and grown all that money he's been making over the last several years, the last over decades in network marketing. So every single person needs to be a part of this great knowledge, and you have the skills and the opportunity to offer that to people. And then, of course, being with our millionaire mentor in Mark on Saturday, first of all, the opportunity to be able to work with and gain knowledge from someone who has made the kind of money in this industry that we all want to make is priceless. I've been in this industry for almost 20 years, and I've never had the opportunity to learn from someone who has been able to make $600,000 a month. You know what? Smart people copy other smart people. And I'll tell you what, I want to copy what Mark has done. And to be able to have that opportunity, I want to applaud everyone who was able to be there. If you weren't able to be there, like Lance said, we're going to have more opportunities for you, but don't miss out. It's the thing that you don't attend, the meeting or the event that you don't attend, that is the meeting or event that you needed the most. It's why I've never missed anything over the last 20 years. Everything that I can go to, you need to invest in yourself. Doug Foster shared with us to spend 2 hours a day studying your trade, studying what you're doing. Part of that you're doing today. You're already putting in at least half hour, 45 minutes, but make sure that you're putting in another hour and a half to 2 hours today studying about this business and investing in yourself, and you will become an expert. Doug shared in 2 years, you can become an expert in your field, in this field of network marketing, in this field of financial services. You can become an expert with just 2 hours a day over the next 2 years. Of course, many of you want this to be your full-time gig, so if you're going to work full-time on it, then you can become an expert much faster. But be intentional with your time. Lance just shared something with you of exponential growth in building an organization and the income that can come along with that. And so today I want to share with you some thoughts about building because that's the thing that we're all doing here. If we keep this information, if we keep what we learned on Friday night from Don Blanton to ourselves, if we keep this amazing opportunity of being able to create what our millionaire mentor shared with us on Saturday, this opportunity is truly $1 million a month income opportunity. And you don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to be a rocket science. You just have to get out there and talk to enough people. This is all about sharing. And keeping this to yourself is just frankly selfish. So you've got to get out there and start talking to people so that you can start having those compounding effects that Lance talked about and just is up on your screen, I believe still, that you could in the next, really, this could happen in weeks, not in even months. It could happen in weeks, that you could be making $14,000 a month residually because of the Turn On compensation plan. It's incredible. I've been with 2 other companies, and this compensation plan blows them away. It's the only company that has a dual compensation plan out there. One of the things that I'm going to be creating this week and sharing with you is a 20-minute Turn On overview little video that you'll be able to share with people at any time. You'll be able to text them out. It's going to be, gosh, I know you're probably hearing, what is Turn On? And maybe you're thinking, how do I simply share what it is? Well, we're going to have a 20-minute or less, I'm hoping maybe even to make it 15-minute, Turn On overview video that you can share with people. And one of the things I'm going to talk about on there is a dual compensation program. If you're going to spend time and you want to make money, why would you not spend that time where you could make the most money? When I looked into Mary Kay Cosmetics almost 20 years ago, there's another little company out there called Pampered Chef. Now, I frankly love to cook, and I didn't wear makeup. So you would think that maybe naturally I would have been drawn more to a company that had to do with cooking, because truly that is my passion. Makeup is not my passion, but I looked at the Pampered Chef compensation plan, which was really horrible on team building, on the organizational building side, but even on the sales side, it was either a 50% commission for Mary Kay or a 25% commission with Pampered Chef. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be out holding parties, I can either make 50% commission on my time, or I can make 25% commission on the same amount of time. Why would I ever choose 25%? Yes, it's a product I like, but guess what? I like makeup fine too. People use makeup too. So spending time for the right amount of money is just smart. If people are going to be out there building a network marketing business, why would you not be in the company that's going to offer you more money? A dual compensation plan. Well, there's a few facts that I want to share with you today that I've discovered over the last almost 20 years of why we don't ask people to listen to our opportunity, why we don't tell them, why we keep this great information to ourselves. And I want to share some of these facts of why people don't share, why they don't ask, and then I'm going to tell you why you should. So the first fact is many people are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of getting told no. Well, here's the thing. They're going to say no to maybe the opportunity or the timing. They're not saying no to you. You've probably heard if you offered 100 people a stick of gum, people are going to say, hey, no, I don't need a stick of gum. In fact, on Saturday, Mark offered me, or Friday night, Mark offered me a stick of gum, and I already just barely put a new stick of gum in my mouth. And I just said, oh, no, thank you, I already have a stick of gum. He didn't break down and melt to the ground and, oh, my gosh, Sherry Ann doesn't like me, and she hates my gum, and, now I feel like a loser because she told me no. He was like, oh, okay, she doesn't want a stick of gum. She already ate. She's already got a new one in her mouth. So they're not saying no to you. They're not rejecting you. They're not saying, oh my gosh, you're so stupid. They're just saying, hey, this isn't for me. It's not the right timing. I'm not ready. And that's just the way it goes. So I want you to try and concentrate on the possibilities and not your fears. I want to share a quick story with you about that. One day when I was first in this industry, Lance was at home, and he got a phone call from a telemarketer who was trying to sell timeshares in Branson, Missouri. And this gal was really outgoing and bubbly and, you know, really persistent and good. And Lance was really excited and thought, this chick's good. I might even want to consider buying a Branson timeshare. Now, we would have no desire to have a Branson timeshare, but she was that good. So, of course, what did Lance do? He said, oh, my gosh, you've got to talk to my wife. If you can sell Branson timeshares like you are, you've got to hear what she does. You could be making so much more money. And he started telling this girl about my business opportunity with the company that I was with. And I got home. I think I was out doing an appointment or something. And I got home, and Lance said, oh, my gosh, this is crazy. This girl called me and wanted to sell me a timeshare to Branson, Missouri. But I started talking to her about your business, and you should call her. Well, I was still in my fear mode. I really hadn't really engaged in personal development enough to know that it didn't matter whether she said yes or no. I was still a great person. I still had a great opportunity. So I came at it from fear. Mark shared with us this weekend that if you will focus on love and not fear, that you will have more success. You will have success, period, in life. And Lance said something to me that day that totally changed my mindset on building an organization. My response to him was, what if she says no? I was focused on getting rejected. What if she says no? What if I call this total stranger who I've never talked to and I'll never meet in person again if she says no? Oh my gosh, why was I letting that hold me back? But I was focused on the rejection. And Lance simply turned back and said to me, but what if she says yes? If you'll focus on the possibilities for them, if you'll find out what they need in their life and show them how they could get what they need through this business opportunity, then I promise you that the rejection, you'll be focused on the right thing. Focusing on the rejection is not a success mindset. It's not going to help you to be successful in your business or your life. You're going to find sharing the business so much easier if you focus on the possibilities for them and not your own fears. Fact, top leaders in the network marketing business are making as much as $500,000 or more a month. Okay, here's the thing. These people started just as we all do. So if you don't share, then you're going to choose to deny them an opportunity to make that kind of income. Who do you know that needs to make more money in their life? Who do you know who has a great potential to be successful, but they're stuck in a bad situation? The top leaders in this industry, I've heard stories of people who were, working at the coffee store, and now they're making $1 million a year because somebody came in to that coffee store and said, you know what, you'd be really great doing what I do. And they said, well, what is it that you do? Well, you know what, why don't I take you out for a cup of coffee? Why don't I take you, meet you for, a Diet Coke, whatever your drink of choice is? Why don't I meet with you and tell you what that is? And you can see if it's for you or not. There are people all over this country, and soon to be, as we take this all over the world, who are looking for something more in their life. They are on bended knee in desperation, saying there has to be something different. There has to be something more. And you can be that person. I believe that God uses people to answer prayers. You could be that answer to their prayers. All you have to do is ask. Fact, many people worry they don't know how to train someone. Maybe you're brand new yourself, and you think, oh, gosh, I don't even know what I would do. So I'm not going to ask somebody. Well, here's the thing. Training is ongoing. You're never going to know everything. We heard our millionaire mentor say, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. School's never out for the pro. Training is ongoing, and it's provided through your company leaders and through much of them having their own experience through building the business. This is an on-the-job training. This isn't, I'm going to get all trained up in the next 6 weeks, and then I'm going to be good to go. That's an employee mindset. You're a business owner mindset. And training is ongoing, and it's on-the-job training. And again, our millionaire mentor, Mark, said, you know what? You got to learn and earn at the same time. So why not have them get in and earn this kind of money in their first few weeks or months that Lance shared with you? And through that experience, you and them are going to learn, and you have excellent leadership, and the people like Lance and myself and Mark and others who are going to help train and lead you, and it's going to be great. So don't worry that you have to know everything in order to train someone else. You're going to learn, and they're going to learn as they go. Fact, some people have low belief. This is why they don't ask. They have low belief in themselves mostly, and sometimes even the opportunity. Well, why does that happen? It's because you're not doing enough research. You're not plugged in enough. You need to get in, do some research. Like I said, that 2 hours a day that Doug Foster recommended, answer some of your own questions, improve your own attitude, plug into your upline, your mentors, your leaders, your sponsor, and then watch your results improve. You will have your belief increase as you engage in activity, you commit to being successful, and you plug in. And when you do that and you're excited, you are not going to be able to help but to share with every single person that you talk to. Okay, fact. Some people worry that there's not going to be support. They're not going to have the support they need from the company, from themselves. And you know what I say to people like that? That people who believe that they're not going to have enough support are choosing not to participate. You, again, got to plug in. Call your sponsor. Call your leader. Your new recruit might choose to participate more than you are and might zoom to the top. So don't hold back because you maybe don't know all the answers or you don't feel like there's support, because there is, and it's a choice to get plugged in and to be supported. And we definitely have that there for you, especially here with our team. Okay, fact. Many people assume that people are going to ask if they're interested. So if people say to you, gosh, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, I'm just starting this awesome new company with Trinant, and building a business and working on earning a free Jeep. I'm going to have that here by the end of the month. Are you telling people that, by the way? When I first started in my practice company, as Scott Webb calls it, when I first started my practice company and I was working on earning that first card that company offered, I needed 14 people on my team. I didn't know how to recruit. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to overcome objections. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was 20 years old. I was naive. I was shy. But guess what? I told everyone, I'm earning a card this month. Guess what? When you tell people that, they will ask. But even if they don't, people think that people assume that people are going to ask if they're interested. And that is totally wrong. A lot of people don't know how this business works. I didn't even know that you could ask to join a company like this 20 years ago, and a lot of people don't. So make sure that you're telling people when you say, hey, I'm earning a Jeep, and gosh, you know what? You could join with me, and we could get you a Jeep this month too. Do you want to do that? Do you want to hear more? Is there any reason why I couldn't tell you more information, see if this is something that you might like? How would you like to have a Jeep for free this month? Go ahead and ask. People are not going to know unless you ask them, unless you tell them that information. Fact, many people stop pursuing their prospect too quickly. I love the term that our millionaire mentor used in polite persistence. I love that. Here's the thing that I know. People want to be associated with people who are confident. People want to do business, and they want to join teams with people who are going somewhere, who are successful. What I also know is that people want to be convinced. They want someone to believe in them and tell them so. They lack self-confidence, so they need to borrow yours. If you don't follow up, they assume that you don't think that they can do it. You know, a couple of examples here. Back in the day when, you know, you didn't have videos on your cell phones and couldn't take pictures with your cell phones, back when we had to have, you know, camcorders. Okay, we're all dating ourselves if we know those times, right? Our kids probably wouldn't even know what a camcorder was. But Lance and I were getting ready to have our first baby, and we thought, well, we better get a video camcorder. We better have that so we can document this time. So we went into Best Buy, and no one helped us. And there was a whole line of camcorders, and I thought, and I was in sales at the time, and I thought, it is so sad if somebody would just come up here and tell me even why the most expensive camcorder was the best, I would have bought it. People actually do want to be sold, but it's selling through education, through information, through excitement, and people want that. Okay, another quick story. If you don't follow up, they assume you don't think they can do it. About, I would say 5-10 years into my business, I had originally talked to a gal about joining my team about 4 or 5 years earlier. Well, her sister ended up joining my team because of the long story, and her sister ended up becoming pretty successful in my organization. And she came to a celebration event that we were doing for her sister, promoting to a new level in our career path. And that sister came up to me and said, you know what, all those years ago when you first got started in this business and you originally talked to me about the business, and I told you not now, she said, if you would have just called me back and told me that you wanted me to be on your team, I totally would have joined. She said, I just didn't think that you thought I would be good. And I can't tell you that happened, unfortunately, a handful of times to me, that people said, you never asked me. And I thought it was because you didn't think I could do it, or you didn't think I was smart enough or pretty enough or good enough or whatever enough in order to be successful. So I promise you, if you'll focus on what people's strengths are, you'll give them that confidence, because most people lack it, and you'll say, you know what, I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to help you get that Jeep too. Let's earn our Jeeps together this month. Let's make a change in our life together. I believe in you. Here's the strengths. I used to make a list next to my prospects, I still do, of the prospects I wanted to have in my business organization and 3 strengths that I saw in them that would help them to be successful. And I would say, you know what? There's some qualities that successful people have in life, not just in network marketing or financial services or whatever. There's just success principles in life, whether you're an athlete, whether you're, you know, a great stay-at-home mom, whatever they are, it doesn't matter. There's success principles, and success is a transferable skill. So I want to tell you that I see X, Y, and Z success traits that you have that I know, if you decided that this was for you, that you would rock at this business. You would do great. And I'm looking for people who have these kind of success traits. And that's why you're on my list. That's why I'm calling you, because I want someone like you on my team. I want someone like you in our company. You've got to share that with people. Okay, fact. Many people, here we go. I lost my little spot here. All right, fact. Many people think they must be more successful first, then they will share the business opportunity. You know, maybe you're thinking, gosh, when I get a big check, or, you know, when I earn my Jeep, then I'll talk to more people. Here's the thing. Is the person who got you involved in this business responsible for your success? No, we're all responsible for our own success. And your new associate is going to have their own goals, and they might be different than your goals. You do not have to be $1 million a year earner in order to be successful. In fact, I found that when you're doing it with your team and you say, hey, we're doing this together and we're all new and we're making it happen, you can even have the most success. That's when it all gets started and the compounding has really starts to happen. So you don't have to be successful right off the bat, because you're going to be relatable with people right off the bat when you say, I'm doing this too. I want to change my life too. I'm tired of being broke. And I'm tired of being where I'm at in my life right now. People will relate to that, and then you can take them on that journey with you. And, of course, they're going to have their own goals, and ultimately they're responsible for their own success. Fact, prejudging is unfair. We all do it. We all think, oh, they'd never be interested, or, oh, I've heard them be negative about network marketing, or, oh, I just don't think they're the type, or, they're broke, they would never have any money to invest, or, they just don't know anybody, or they're so shy. We all do it. We decide for them, and that's true. We decide for them, whether it's a yes or a no. I want to tell you, allow your prospects to decide their own future. What if someone had prejudged Mark? What if somebody had prejudged that top leader in that copy store that I was telling you about? They still might be making minimum wage. If you don't share this with people, then you are absolutely convicting them to their current situation for the rest of their life. You've got to share. You've got to ask. Fact, people often don't ask for help in recruiting. No person is an island. You've heard me say before that people are not self-made. Ask. The people who have plugged into me the most, the people who have, just been on the phone with me saying, Ariane, I want this. You have my full permission. Every single person who's ever called me up and said, I am calling you every day. I give you my full permission to tell me what I need to be successful, even if it might sting a little bit, even if I've got to make some pretty massive changes. I'm giving you full permission to just help me to be successful, tell me what I need to know. And even the little questions that you have are important to your success. Ask them. Ask for help in sharing. Say, hey, I've got somebody that I want to talk to. I want to hear you share with them. Ask for help in following up. Hey, I talked to somebody yesterday. Can you help me know what to say to follow up with them? Ask for help. And be a student. When you're listening to your sponsor, your upline, your leader, talk to somebody, you better be taking notes. I wanted to just go up and give Mark a huge hug on Saturday when he said, I am huge about note-taking. There is nothing that is just more maddening as a leader when you're given just great information and people are not taking notes. The faintest ink is stronger than the most retentive memory. I hope you're taking notes today on this call. So you're not just going to get off and say, wow, that was really good. That you're taking notes of what you need to do. I always have an action note. These are notes I'm taking action on. Maybe here's some good thoughts, but this is something that came into my mind or a person's name that came into my mind, and I'll actually tell them, you know what? I was on an incredible conference call this morning for my business. I was investing in my education, and your name came into my mind. I don't know why. I don't know if that's inspiration, if I need to tell you about this or not, but you are on the top of my mind this morning, and I had to call and tell you about what I'm doing because it could change your life. It's changing mine, and I want to tell you about it. Can I take you out for a cup of coffee, Diet Coke, whatever, and give you some great information? I don't know if it'll be for you or not in a million years, but the thing is that neither do you. Okay, fact. Often people think that they're a failure if the person they had join their recruit doesn't stay in the business. Here's the thing. Everybody has the same opportunity. And again, you are not responsible for another person's success or failure. You can bring the horse to water, and you know the rest. You can't make them drink. And something that I know about this industry is that there's a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Maybe they come in for a reason for themselves or to help you move up to the next career path level, and then they need to move on. That's all right. Maybe they're there for a season. Maybe they're going to be with us for the first 3 to 5 years and make their millions and then move on to doing some great, mission work or philanthropic work or whatever that is. Or maybe they're here for the rest of their life. You don't get to know what that is for them, and sometimes they don't know what that is for them. The point is you can keep sharing, and if they stay, great. If they don't, that doesn't reflect on you. Fact. Some people think that they fail if their prospect doesn't say yes. You know, you guys, this is sales. This is a numbers game. Some people are going to say yes. Some people are going to say no. You really have to quit being so hard on yourself. The analogy and story I love with that is, you know, we just had the holiday season. You probably still remember Thanksgiving and how full you get at Thanksgiving. And let's just say that your Aunt Jane makes the most incredible pumpkin pie, and you look forward to it every single year. Like, you dream of that pumpkin pie. It's February, and you're already thinking about the pumpkin pie that Aunt Jane makes at Thanksgiving, and you cannot wait to get a piece. You just dream about it for the whole year. Well, let's say you have just gorged yourself at Thanksgiving, as we all unfortunately usually do, and Aunt Jane saves you the last piece of pumpkin pie. And she says, oh my gosh, I brought you this pumpkin pie. She's got whipped cream on it and everything, and you're like ready to puke laying on the couch. You're so full. Pants are unbuttoned. You know, you're laying there moaning, and you just are so full. And even though you want that pumpkin pie, you can't. So you tell Aunt Jane, you know, put some saran wrap on it, put it in the fridge, and I'll eat it later. Sometimes that's how it works when you share information about a business. Sometimes people's lives are just so full. But I promise you that they'll come back, and you'll follow up because you're going to be politely persistent with them, and you're going to catch them at the right time. So this is a lot like planting a garden. Some people are spring lettuce, and they come up really fast, and other people are winter squash. Some people are the summer corn. So you just got to plant a lot of seeds, politely persist, and then you're going to grow a huge organization. Okay, fact. This is the last one. If we think less of our own fears and more of what it will benefit them, then you will build an organization. You've got to get out there and talk to everyone. Get excited about your future with this company, with this business opportunity. Get excited about their future. And you've got to get busy, get out there, and ask people to listen. That is all we are doing, is asking people to listen. Well, to close up, I want to share with you just a couple of quick thoughts, again, from my favorite book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. He says, you have to believe that you are the one who creates your success, that you are the one who creates your mediocrity, and that you are the one creating your struggle around money and success. Consciously or unconsciously, it is still you. And I've shared this before on another webinar, but I'm going to share it again because it's one of the wealth principles. And this is the wealth principle. If you have the book, it's on page 70. If you are not fully, totally, and truly committed to creating wealth, chances are you won't. And W.H. Murray, who wrote one of, he took one of the very first Himalayan expeditions, wrote the following: until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. When you commit to educating yourself, when you commit to sharing with X number of people a day, when you commit to going into people's homes and sharing that Circle of Wealth program and educating them about how they can plan for their future, when you commit to sharing with them the dual compensation plan and what Trinant is really offering people, and that they can be making in just a few short weeks or a few short months as much as $14,000 or more a month, much more, but that's the minimum. When you commit to doing that, the universe will bring the resources to you. Again, I posted on social media, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Put yourself in a place to be ready, commit, decide to be successful. It is you who decides the team size you have, the money that's in your bank account. It is a choice. commit, make the decision, get out there and share, get plugged in, ask for help, and we're going to go on a great ride. This month in February is going to be our most successful ever in Trinont, and I know that it's going to be your most successful ever in your life because you are committed. Thanks for joining us. Have an incredible week. Have a great Monday. Reach out, share, get excited, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.